Oh man, here we go. It says we're live, but I'm gonna wait a second. It's been tricky. Wait for this bar to spin across. There we go. We are definitely live. Hi, I'm Eagle, Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram. And this is fucking talking shit with Eagle. This is episode 161. I hope you had an amazing weekend. We have a great show to cap it off. You know this gentleman here from chat. You've seen him around in all the chats, actually. Great supporter of this show and among many other shows in the community. Srelhow, how you doing tonight? Can you tell us how you're doing tonight and where we can find you? And actually, you can tell me if I just said that right
You
because I
actually
know
said you
there's been
said
a
that
few
right,
others.
man. You said that right. I really don't care, man. It's a dumb name I picked up from back in the day when I used to play Dungeons and Dragons back in middle school. You know, and then online all this crap you had to have names, so it was carried over, and then Xbox it carried over, and it's my last name backwards, so it just works. I don't know. Coming up with online names for things these days is ridiculous. I don't know. I guess, yeah, just an old Dungeons and Dragons nerd, man. I had to come up with names all the time for stupid characters. It got old. This one stuck. It's Srelhow. You can find me on YouTube under Chaotic Canna Grow or IG under Chaotic Canna Grow. On YouTube, I chat under the name Srelhow. And I'm here tonight because every one of you fuckers in chat, every single one of you needs to get on this goddamn show. I'm nobody when it comes to the weed community. I've got nothing. I grow in a couple of 2x4 tents. I'm failing horribly. It's totally amazing. I'm never going to give it up. And if I can come on this show and talk some shit with Eagle Gardens and give this guy one more day, so can you. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how long I'm going to last, man, but I'm going to try. I've been dabbing my brains out all day. I've been shaking and nervous. Totally shaking and nervous.
Oh man.
Oh, there we are.
I don't understand why. I mean, this will be all fun for sure. For sure.
Well, it's like I said, man. Before we went live, I was trying to, I'm not trying to kiss your ass, but to some of us, you are the sub cool because we weren't growing and weren't paying attention during the time sub was a thing. I'm not trying to say you're sub cool. That's not. But the way you talk about him, the guy that would walk around and just hand things out, the guy that was just super nice and friendly to everybody, yeah, you kind of fit that shoe, man. Yeah, you're handing things out right and left. I don't even want to know what your postage bill was for this grow along. I'm sorry. I mean, all out of the kindness of your heart. Another thing I got to say is this motherfucker spent that much money on postage. You guys better be posting your shit with this grow along. I want to see some goddamn pictures.
So I do too, but I've got good faith that it's gonna work out well, and people are gonna take pride in this. I really believe people are gonna take pride in this. So,
I sure hope so, man.
I appreciate you calling out some of these members in chat, though. I mean, if we can get more good folks like yourself to come on, it will sure make scheduling easier, and it'll buy us a whole lot of time. I mean, but we're looking at pushing 161, almost 6 months. If we've got at least 100 of you, there's at least 100 of you guys. That's another 6 months. That's of every night being able to show up, and then me being able to pack people in between that. Well, we'd be looking good.
You guys are gonna have to sign up if you enjoy this nightly. I would feel weird at this point if I came up and I turned on my computer at 9 o'clock my time and I couldn't find Eagle. I think I would panic a little bit. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but my God. 160 days straight and then silence? make me worry a little bit. It would make me worry a little bit. That's for
Dr.
sure.
Buzz Lightyear. He's talking about his Northern Lights times skunked, man. He sent me some pictures, and they're beautiful plants. More reasons why he needs to get himself onto the show.
I want to
Be
see
great.
everybody on this show. I everybody. Well, everybody that can, you know. I mean, I don't want nobody to out themselves either. I mean, if you can't come on for legal reasons, by all means, don't come on for legal reasons. That's just stupid. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. But if you can, like, have we seen Buddha Boy yet?
No.
Social weed
Yeah.
nerd.
SoCal, yes.
JD,
SoCal.
J Diz.
Yeah, Prometheus we had. Chris Mertz, yes.
Chris
Myron,
Mertz,
yes.
yeah, we've seen him lots. That guy's got lots of knowledge. That guy's
He's got a good sense of humor too. He's fun to have on. Like the other night when he popped on it, all I could see on the screen is on my end. It just popped up premature ejaculator, and I was like, oh. I know who this is. I know who. There's only one that comes on with fucking funny names and shit like that. I also appreciate the way he's on. Way he'll change his name. If you watch the screen, he'll change his name all the time to different shit. If you don't pay attention to that, it's fucking hilarious. And
Oh really?
it's always fun having him on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I know I was
Yes.
watering at the mouth over his pictures of all those drivers and lights he was setting up. I know I'm only growing out of a couple of tents, but man, I sure do dream big. I see some of these guys' setups, and I mean, even your setup makes me dream big. Jesus Christ. You know, I think I have that goal of the common grower. I want to grow to the point to where I can be self-sufficient, and then I want to be able to grow where I'm self-sufficient and then be able to hand out double what I smoke just to family, friends, and whoever, you know, so they don't have to pay for the shit either. It's pretty cheap here, though. I mean, hell, I can go get a shitty gram of some wax, oil, whatever you want to call it, shatter, $10 a gram. Here in Oregon, it's fucking cheap. I mean, that's not very good quality, but $35 a gram gets you something that makes, I'm sorry to say, what you got from that highway store look like garbage. Man, I felt so bad for you when you did that. Oh,
Man.
I've got a
That's
rosin
two
press.
places. Two places up here in northern Michigan that I've stopped at, and that was the case. You know, that's bad. No, I guess that sweet tea wasn't bad, but that is probably the best out of probably 5 grams I've had. 5 grams in a long time. That's not very good odds. 1 out of 5. Yeah.
So I would like to come on again here in the future after I get this plant to fully flower, because I want to show you how easy it is to press rosin. I know you've seen the videos, everybody's seen the videos, but you know, there's something that's going around that I think that everybody's so fixated on everything having to be the highest quality of everything that it's almost ridiculous. It's like people want to turn their nose up if you're not making Pedro quality hash or sorry, rosin. But at the end of the day, man, if you had a rosin press sitting on that table next to you and you just took a couple of buds that you really loved and you just pressed them out within 5 minutes, you can take that straw from the time you heated that thing up. Within 5 minutes, you can take your little dab straw and you can take a fresh dab of something fresh that you know you grew. It was done easy. Turn the machine off, whatever, or sit there and press as much as you want until you have all the oil you can possibly dream of. I mean, it's such a cheap, easy thing to do when you look at it in the long run. I spend, you know, $35 a week on just cheap stuff at the store, but when it comes down to it and I finally get something to flour here and there, what I press is just it blows the cheap stuff out of the water. I mean, just pressing straight flour blows dispensary cheap stuff out of the water. So I mean, it's it's not like you have to have a rosin press and screen for all the best heads and then press the best thing in the world to have good rosin experience. If you're growing good buds and they've got great heads on them and you just want a quick gram of rosin, bam, it's right there. It's so easy. So easy. In fact, I think walk you over there real quick. I don't got shit. I think I unplugged my headset. My bad. Don't got any flour to press, but man, I picked like $400, and it's I know there's a way to swap it. There we go. Nope. I don't know how well you can see that there, but I hear stories that you're a pretty crafty dude, and getting yourself a and building a frame. The plates and the temperature thing are going to be the most expensive thing. I think you can get them online for a couple $100, but shit, you could build that for almost next to nothing, Eagle. No? Whoa, I lost all sound. Oh, you're muted.
That was me. Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem at all to fucking build that shit. It looks pretty simple enough to build something.
It's just simple, man. You just get any kind of metal tubing or square framing you want. It's as long as it's strong enough to withstand a couple tons of pressure. I mean, you don't have to make something that's big enough to squish 20 grams at once, as long as it'll squish 5-10 grams. Shit. If you're just dabbing by yourself, 5-10 grams of flour is going to make you quite a bit of rosin. My lights aren't on yet. How do I pop that back? There we go. Yeah, I know it's just another one of those expenses of the garden. Who wants to throw out another $400 for some shit? But God, at the end of the day, man, when you're starting to dab enough to where you're going out and you're finding this, that, and the other, that you might as well be pressing your own flour. I mean, unless you're looking to get away from your own flour, I get that too, because if you have a big yield of something, that's the only thing you're smoking on for a while, you get tired of it.
No. That isn't the case at all. And especially when you turn it into an extract form, it's a whole different thing. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait to start smoking bubble again. I've got all that material ready to run, and trust me, once I wash that bubble, I won't be back into the dispensaries buying any kind of extract for any time soon. It's just been a little bit busy, and that's just the quickest, easiest way to get my fix. Either that or catch up with some friends, which all them friends are like 3 hours downstate. So when I do go down there, trust me, I'm hitting them up while I'm downstate. That's for sure. And speaking of people in chat, I got this outfit was actually sent to me. This swag kit, the HLG swag kit, was sent to me by old Chris Mertz there in chat. And I actually see somebody say something about the hat. You wear hats? Occasionally I do wear hats, but it was part of the package. I thought I'd throw it on tonight. What the hell? Why not?
Right on. God, that's something I would love to talk about. Chris Mertz. It took me a while to figure things out. I'm a real tech nerd. I love jumping in and getting into hardware and stuff. And I saw all his drivers laying out, and I've built a few lights before. And I tried to come up with a way I could best describe building lights to the layman. So my best shot, here it goes, is all you weed nerds out there that have ever built a goddamn stereo in your car and you're a teenager, you hooked up subwoofers, You had to calculate, you had to figure out, okay, I've got a 4 ohm woofer, it's on this amplifier can handle a 4 ohm load, it's a 500-watt speaker, the amplifier pushes how many watts. It's no different than hooking up these light boards to drivers. The only difference is you're dealing with voltage and amperage instead of ohms and wattage. You just got to match up your voltage. Make sure you're not going over the voltage of the rated power supply, and then make sure your boards aren't going over what they can handle. It's very similar to like the subwoofer, the wattage. So you would rate that as the amperage on the light boards. I mean, if you guys can hook up car stereo crap in your cars, you can literally grab these drivers and lights and you can build them. It's literally no different. It's just a slightly different formula equation for you got to for how you add or don't add your volts when running in series or parallel like you would with your speakers. But it's literally the same thing. At first, I was very
With that being
overwhelmed
said,
by it. And then it just clicked one day. I'm like,
I'm
my
sorry,
God, this is
brother.
no different than subwoofers in a stupid car. And then from there, it's just like, God, I wish I had more money. I wish I wouldn't have bought this. I wish I wouldn't have bought that. Because buying some of these LED boards, it's just so cheap. I mean, you can buy a $600 light, or you can go out and buy the boards and build your own for half the price. I mean, not everybody's a DIY guy, but I mean, a lot of us have hooked up speakers in cars before, and we understood the ohms and the wattage and how to make sure shit wasn't going to blow up. It's the same thing. It just seems more, I don't know, scary because you're dealing with live. You don't want to burn some shit down, but hell, you don't. You're not touching it when you plug it in and test it. So, worst case scenario, something's popping you out. Yeah, you're out a few bucks. Unless it's the driver. From what I understand, those things are backed by, I don't know, they're basically like a Craftsman tool. You can basically just say it's dead and they just replace it. I haven't had that experience yet, but I've heard a lot of people say that.
Nice. Most of it's pretty plug and play anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. You just need to know the basics of, like, if I got 3 boards here and they're all, 36 volts, am I going to run them in series or parallel? And that that's going to determine the end voltage, and whether or not it's going to split up the amperage or it's going to the amperage is going to stay the same across all of them. That's it. And once you get that figured out, I mean, kind of sky's the limit. I wish I could afford one of them cool apogee testers, but I think I need to figure out how to grow some good cannabis before I really jump too far into that stuff, because as I said, I really love the tech. I'm kind of a gamer nerd. I've been building my own gaming computers forever, but now that I've found cannabis and it's legal to grow, I'm not gaming much anymore. I'm paying attention to the cannabis and following it, loving it. I grew outdoors, had lots of success, had a few years of non-success, lots of fucking bugs and worms. Biggest mistake of I'm eating these words. I said, it's got to be easier to grow indoors. I'm glad I decided to come indoors because I'm learning so much more, but it is so much harder. So much harder.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But like you said, I mean, once you mastered your indoor, then taking it outdoor, I would imagine it's pretty easy at that point. Matter of just containing the structure of the plant, because I think that's the key outdoors. Is just not growing a plant that can't support itself. I think would be the obstacle of going outdoors. It's just that right there, making sure she can hold herself. That'd be my problem anyway.
Hey, Chad, is it just me? I can barely hear him. Might just be me.
Let me try. Let me try to switch.
Oh shit. No, you're good, man. You're good. You're good. I turned my phone. That's the third time I turned my phone up. What am I setting it on? Son of a bitch.
No, it's
I'm
probably
sorry. I'm
mine
sorry.
because they.
Wow, you're loud. No, you're
No,
good now, man. You're so good. Oh my god, it's me. Wow.
okay.
Wow. Oh, we're good. Sorry, man. Holy shit. Anyways, yeah. Totally creaming over all those drivers that Mertz had in that picture months back. That was, I don't know, kind of cream worthy. That was, you can't see a picture like that and not know what the hell he's doing.
He keeps telling me he's gonna put together a video we can share or come on and do a live. That'd be cool, pretty cool too. I mean, both of you guys, anybody. I'm suggesting that maybe a live assembly on air would be great.
Oh, that'd be great. Whoa.
Kind of talk to us while he's putting it together. That'd be pretty awesome. That'd be pretty awesome.
You know, if you don't mind, I'd like to come back. It's like I was starting to say earlier, when I get my platinum blueberry to finally finish, I'd like to come back and show you just a quick and easy press. I know you've seen it a million times, but you know, I'm everybody keeps pushing you, man. You need to get a rosin press. The ease of use. It's not. It's a convenience item. Especially when you're somebody that's not a huge dabber. If you just had something you could lean over, spend 5-10 minutes dicking with, and then you had dabs for the next day or two because you're not a very heavy dabber, I mean, you would. I don't know. I've blasted. I've done all sorts of extractions. I would like to do more water extraction because it's fun. But at the end of the day, rosin pressing is just, it's so goddamn easy, man. It's just so damn easy. It takes the work out of everything. You heat your plates up, you press it down, you wait a minute or two, you raise your plates, you pull it out, you take a dab. And when it's fresh like that, oh my God. When you pull it straight off and those terps roll right up your nose, oh Jesus Christ, man. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I have no filter sometimes. You're on mute.
I was watching that episode 1 the other day, and Sequence was telling me that you're on mute, and I'm thinking, boy, that shit sure hasn't changed.
You've changed a lot.
Well, hopefully
Your
not
interviewing
too
skills, the way you talk with people is no, you haven't changed a lot, but I mean, you've got a lot more confident in that. How about how you go about it? Like me, I'm a fucking wreck right now. I can barely hold my conversation without babbling because I'm so goddamn nervous. But in the beginning, you kind of seemed that way. Now you seem pretty rock solid. Like, I've done this shit a million times. I'm just here for the flow, and that's the look on your face.
I wish that could be true. I think that's why I actually hold that time down for where I let people in and where I go live. That close, you know what I mean? It's literally minutes before usually we go live. I mean, I let them on, and then it's like, okay, this is what's going on. Then we're going live. But man, what you don't see is, man, I'm kind of like doing the same thing everybody else does. I'm not letting anybody on until I got the title all made. I've had a chance to gather myself a little bit in front of the camera. And it's the same shit. I do the same shit. It's it goes both ways for sure, man. I get just as nervous as you guys do.
It was a little nerve wracking. I've been pacing all day. I hit the bong a few too many times. I was really worried about losing nouns. You know, you get too high, noun's the first thing to go. You get a little too higher than that, then you start losing all your descriptive words. And I didn't want to be there, but I needed to calm down, man. You had me nervous as shit today. As I said, it's like, to some of us, yeah, I don't know, man. This show is something else. It's something else. It's something new. It's something real. I followed dudes that were great growers, but shit, they're drinking beer and pissing on live stream and then signing shit and sending it out. I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that. Then I'm, following other dudes that are like, at the end of the day, they're just trying to sell you something. And I don't need to watch any more grow videos or how to grow videos, but a place that you created here is, it's kind of like Skillbo says, it's like you're holding up a roof for people to come and just kick it under and fucking talk shit on a nightly basis. It's rad, man. That's a word that should come back, by the way, people. Rad. More people should say rad. Sorry.
I agree. I used to use it quite a bit myself back in the day for sure. So let's they're asking, and I'm curious too. Let's get into a little bit of your history here, if you don't mind. When was your first endeavor with the cannabis plant?
First time I found a coffee can in the basement of my parents' house. I opened that coffee can because I was a snoopy fucking kid. I was 12 years old, and I found some corncob pipes and some green flake. And it fucking smelled amazing and like grass. I stole one of my dad's pipes and I filled it up, and my cousin was over and we ran to my bedroom and we smoked it. Tasted like shit, didn't do a fucking thing, didn't get high. That was my first experience. My first real experience, my buddy stole some pot from his mom and we went behind the church and we got fucking so goddamn high that I never stopped smoking since. It's kind of like that scene from Half Baked, that first time you get high, it's either you love it or you hate it. And I think I was 15. We were standing behind that church and we smoked that bowl between me and two friends, and we sat down in the grass back there for about an hour just laughing. And I never looked back. The only problem I had was I couldn't figure out why everybody was saying it was such an evil fucking thing. People were saying, it'll make you do this, it'll make you do that. Oh my God, it's bad this. And I'm like, wait, I've done it. I've done it a bunch of times. I haven't done any of this stuff. I'm not running and jumping out of windows. I'm not acting crazy. I'm eating a little bit more. I'm drinking a little bit more water. But that was about it, So that was pretty much my first two experiences. I got to say that first one, just because my dad always shunned weed, but I think it was because of my mom. I think my dad was a big weed head, but I never got to know that. He drank himself to death. That was kind of that was kind of one of the reasons why I started. It's one of the reasons why I started growing when it became legal. It was like, I have no reason not to grow it. I'd like to get my dad away from the alcohol. I love cannabis. Let's start doing this. And I actually got my dad to help me start growing the first couple crops. And it was kind of fucking cool. But addiction, man, it runs in the family, A lot of people fight it. I've been battling it my whole life, and cannabis is the one thing I keep turning back to, and it's the one thing I'm going to hold on to now forever, and I'm not going to turn away from it, or I'm not even going to go anywhere else, because, don't get me wrong, I'd like mushrooms. Mushrooms would be fun, but I've been hooked on things for a couple of years in my life that I'm not too proud to talk about, but I'll talk about it because I can't be who I am today without my mistakes of yesterday.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
And my meth years fucked me up pretty good. I got suckered into that whole thing, and man, I know this isn't a show. I don't know, man. I'm nervous as fuck, so I'm having a hard time talking. But I want to talk about that because narcotics in general are really fucked up, and they
A
can
good
take
time.
lives.
You got some to smoke on? Take a puff real quick. I mean, it helps. I'm over here chiefing. It's only fair. It's only fair, man.
Right. I don't know, man. I really screwed myself over for a few years, and then I got lucky and I watched a bunch of friends get well. When you're doing drugs like that, they're not friends. They feel like friends, but they're. Anyways, I watched a bunch of people get busted and they lost their kids, shit like that. I got scared, so I had to disassociate because you can't. When you're an addict on something so hard that you can't get away from it if you see it, the only way to get away from it is by full disassociation. I know to this day that if somebody laid a line in front of me, I would probably kick their fucking ass. But I can't tell you that I wouldn't take that line. That's kind of fucked up. But I'm just being honest with myself. I'm being honest with myself. I haven't done it for years. I don't ever want to touch you, but I had to completely disassociate myself with what I thought was a lot of good people. So now I grow weed in my closet, well, in my 2x4 grow tents, and I watch a lot of cannabis videos online, and I enjoy the tent you prop up every night for uh, us folk to sit around and bullshit. Even though I'm not a very uh, active chatter, I do gotta say
Well,
though that this people in chat are fucking awesome as hell though, because even though I'm not very active in chat, people like, I'm not even gonna name names because it's not fair because too many of them. All I have to do is say something, and I got 15 people saying, "Hey, cheers, Srelhow. Hey, how's it going, Srelhow? Blah 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 blah." That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. They don't know me. They just know I show up here every night and blah blah blah. And I'm not very active in chat, but dude, that's a good feeling. You don't get that a lot of the other places. This is like, as I said, this is something that's you created something that's not normal. It's not normal in the means of YouTube entertainment, man. It's more than that.
I don't know about that, but I do appreciate the fact that it isn't just here. You know, when we see each other in other shows and everything, it's the same thing. And I almost wonder if when like we see each other in the other chats or like I see it like I seen it today. Thank you, Twisted. By the way, Twisted was Twisted Roots in chat was the one that kind of introduced me to the Witchy Weekend gals and them that I've been telling you guys about. But it was an honor when I popped in over there today to see a bunch of you guys over there hanging out. Same thing. You know what I mean? Just being super nice to everybody in their chat. And I almost wonder if they were like, where do all these people come? They all know each other. You know what I mean?
No, I popped on
And
there, and
then,
all of a sudden I see Jack's face. I'm like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? And I'm looking over. I'm like, well, there's Miss D's, and there's God, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I'm sorry I didn't catch everybody. I was just kind of cleaning the shit out of my grow room and pacing around, doing my thing, trying to keep my mind off of coming on the show or overthinking it. I'm an overthinker. That's my problem.
I'm a little guilty of that myself. I can overthink some shit. And that's it can be a demon. That's a demon right there. I mean, there's times where you gotta just. I learned from. I want to say her name's. I know her name's Mel, but I'm blanking on her last name. She's like a motivational coach, but she's got a book that's it's 5 4 3 2 1 is basically the method of the book, and it's just like kind of not thinking and just in your head counting backwards. Just the act of counting backwards is like clearing your thoughts of like everything but counting backwards. And then when you get to one, you just kind of jump. Don't even think about it. Just jump and think, I got to do something. And whatever the first thing is, just go with that. And it seems to help me with a lot of things because I do. I had the tendencies to really overthink shit, sometimes overthink things people say. And
Oh, I'll overthink
it can be
myself right
hard.
into a corner. Right into a corner. I'll overthink myself right into a corner. I'm sure everybody does this, but you start playing scenarios out in your head, whatever seems most logical to you at the time, and shit, by the time you're done with it, you've come up with a fucking mega plan that's fucking out of this world, and it's not. I don't know. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. I could be half crazy.
Oh no, I know exactly. I know exactly what you're insinuating to there. Yeah, I do. And the best thing that I can tell you, and the best thing that I've adopted, is just understand that everybody's entitled to their opinion. You know, that's just theirs. It shouldn't affect you or how you feel about yourself or your process. And just move on. Don't forget just that. You know, take it in. Thank you for your thoughts and move on towards your path. And don't overthink it. Just understand and respect that thought is theirs, that feeling is theirs, and it doesn't have to affect you or your life. Just keep on going. And
Right.
it works pretty good if you can just accept that it shouldn't have to affect you or your path. uh for sure, for sure.
Smoke more, worry less. Miss these nugs. I'm coming from the point of an addict. People always say, I think I heard you guys talking the other night about you can't really abuse cannabis. I don't believe that at all. I think you can abuse the fuck out of cannabis. I think some people can
Yeah.
abuse the fuck out of cannabis to the point to where they, I don't know. But eventually, I think they all come out of it because you hit that plateau where you can't get any fucking higher while you're in your comfort zone until you step out of your comfort zone. Does that make sense?
Oh
Like
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
I'm sitting here in front of my computer watching your show, for instance, the other night I tried to take 5 dabs to you rolling off the credits. I made it through the 5 dabs. It was fucking amazing. Then you got to the end, and I was like, oh, well, fuck, now what do I do? I forgot where I was going with that, man. My bad, sorry.
Smoking too much and actually being in your same element.
Yes. Yeah, but
That's what you're doing.
I can smoke in here all day long because this is my zone, and I don't ever feel like I'm really getting baked. But the moment I'm like, well, I need to go to the store, I want to grab a soda or something, it's like, boom, I'm out in the world, and it's like, fuck, I'm stoned. How is this a thing? Yeah, I know there's something about the comfort zone. I don't get it. But if you're in your
Yeah.
comfort zone, you plateau out, and I'm trying to figure out, circle out. How did I lost I lost track where I was going with that whole plateauing thing, but
I can help you out there. I actually felt this very same way. Very same way. I blamed it, a little bit on the strains or, my habit a little bit. Oh, I need to have multiple strains around because, I've built up a tolerance to one or the other. And it wasn't until that I interviewed Hota Herb and I was speaking with him. And for some reason, when I was talking to him, he just struck me as a person that may have meditated. You know what I mean? So I asked him if he meditated, and it was right about this instance where I kind of realized I could. It wasn't it wasn't cannabis or medicine. I was using it wrong. To be honest with you, but he says yeah. you know, yeah, every time that I use cannabis, I'm somewhat meditating. You know, you're basically controlling your breath and, slowing it down, trying to regain your thoughts. And I'm like, yeah, that basically you're right. But even more, he was talking about going outside and, stepping out of your zone. And that's just it. I think we don't leave our environment with just like the things and reasons why we're smoking. Sometimes it's for fun or one reason or another. Maybe it's just we're more irritated or we just got to keep smoking. But we don't leave our environment, so it doesn't work. It's not working because we're not stepping out of the environment. You you take that same instance and take that joint outside and smoke it and watch the fucking, look around at the clouds, the birds, and actually let your environment and the cannabis take effects and melt away a lot of the anxiety, the reasons why most of us use, to make us feel a little bit more normal. And that's what it does, it
Amen.
relaxes you. Then you just go back in. I mean, I'm telling you, try this. Them days where you think you've smoked yourself out, next one, go outside, smoke that one outside, and just kind of lose yourself into the clouds. I bet you 9 times out of 10, you'll go back into the house and you'll be like, where in the fuck did I put that? What the hell did I just do it? Man, I'm fucking high. Because you've kind of you've let you've actually relaxed and let the medicine hit you. And yeah, try every other one outside. I guarantee you'll slow down on your consumption. I guarantee it hits you a little harder every time. So you learn a little bit with every. That's one of the things in doing this. I've taken away something from every one of you guys. It might be cannabis, it might be life, it might sometimes be both. But man, this is you guys thank me night after night for doing this, but I couldn't be more honored to sit here opposite of you guys night after night. I mean,
It's full circle,
how
brother. I'm gonna interrupt you. That's full circle, brother. I mean, that has to be full circle. You can tell us how much you love us, but how many? I can't see how many people are in chat here, but we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
how many
If
other
you didn't
people?
have
I
the
mean,
show
very
on, we wouldn't be here. If you didn't have the show on, we wouldn't have the show to watch, man. I mean, I know you don't like taking
uh,
that stuff, but I mean, it's you can appreciate us all you want. We're here because of Eagle.
bullshit, man. I'm telling you, it's all on this side. The pleasure of being able to meet people. Uh, how many other people? How many other people seriously are that lucky to where they can say they honestly they've met somebody, a new person, night after
No,
night after night,
that is
day
very
after day
true,
after
man.
day? I'm lucky enough to where night after night I get to meet somebody new most cases and let somebody in my life and I get to be let in them theirs. And that right there is something that you can't put a value on that right there. So I'm telling you, the gratitude, the gratefulness is all over here. I'm just like the rest of you guys on the other just like you. I'm looking for that one thing that fucking makes me fucking feel just as normal as everybody else. And that's why I'm here doing this is because Sub Cool actually, that's the thing. You said you never got to meet him or hang out with him. The whole weed
Hey,
nerd thing was
I
because of
wasn't. I
him.
wasn't.
He did.
Well, I wasn't big into the whole gross scene. I wasn't, trying to dig for information and stuff. It was just a little bit before my time, before I started growing. I mean, if I would have been digging for information, if I wouldn't have started
But
growing only 6 years ago, then I'm sure I would know all these things. I only hear all these
right on.
stories, and
But he did a lot of the same thing. We all would hook up in his chats and fucking, you know, same thing, man. There's much love that always went on them chats. And fucking, and when he passed on, it just left an incredible void. And it was the same thing. You talk about, just me not showing up some nights. There was nights where, you know, he'd be on every night religiously. Then he'd hook up with a new girl or something, and then he wouldn't be on. He'd be just being during the day. You know what I mean? When they weren't doing something else, and you'd be like, "Man, this is fucked up." And shit. But and then the same aspect, you know, everything was caught up because you weren't hanging out in the chats. But man, he'd be like, then something would happen, and you know, him and that chick would break up, and then he'd be on every night. You'd be like, "Yes, man, put things back to normal and shit." And but it was, yeah, it was something that had to be done, man. Somebody just, yeah, it just had to be done. There was a weed nerd void that needed to be filled. You know, and the best thing about this, Srelhow, is Alexis. Getting seeing my kids, because they see me fucking kind of hang out in these chats and whatnot, and they could never figure it out. What's this fucking weed nerd? Because I'd say it all the time, weed nerd, weed nerd. What the fuck is this weed nerd? Why is he always hanging out in these chats? I don't think they ever could figure it out. But then when I started doing this and Lexi started watching it and started exactly what you're talking about. I pop into chat, I get 15, 20 hellos from everybody. Everybody's so nice. She instantly got a taste of what it was that was, you know, what I was talking about. And she instantly, she's not even really a smoker. Once in a great while, she might hit one. But she loves this community. She loves the people she's met in it. She loves talking to them. She's understanding what it's about. And it's really shortened the gap between her. She's my middle daughter. She may or may not be watching, but either way, I don't. You know, there's no regrets in what I'm saying here. And so there was a little bit of distance between us beforehand, but this whole hand, this community, this show has shortened that gap between me and that girl by fucking a mile, and that in itself, I've been hugely grateful for. And like
That's
little
awesome.
small things, well, like with the day my father passing through all this shit, like anything else, man, I could have been sitting there all tore up, depressed, but this community fucking was there. You know, I got to invent by doing this instead of fucking being sad. You know, these people stepping in, you guys tuning in every night, fucking was, and I warmed my heart, man. It took any fucking sadness I had and just made me want to go full tilt into this. So it isn't, you know, this is for real pleasure. This is a pleasure for me. I feel like I owe you guys night after night.
It's full circle, brother. It's a full circle. Eagle, we love the way you fly. That's why we're in your flock. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I know you don't like that shit, so I'm done, man. But we love the way you fly, Eagle. That's why we're here too. It's a full circle, brother. Full circle.
So what are you dabbing on? Have you told us what you were dabbing on? You said it was the cheap stuff.
Purple Hindu Kush.
Nice,
Purple
nice.
Hindu Kush. Well, you know, after pressing, I've had a few good crops outside. My third year outdoors, I had a cut of Gorilla Glue number whatever. I'm not going to argue that. I couldn't tell you. It was fucking amazing. I ended up 2 plants outdoors, 9.5, and that was my third year growing. And how do they put that? My buddy Trip had a closed loop BHO rig, and 8 of those 9 went through that, and I developed the most expensive cannabis habit I've ever had in my life. That's what going outdoors gets you. You smoke a couple pounds of some amazing oil, and you just get a tolerance. It's hard not to. And then when you got to go out and you buy it, it's really hard to buy the good stuff when I can buy a gram of stuff that's pretty passable for $10 a gram. I know that makes me sound like a junkie compared to some of these guys you have on here that are like, man, I smoke this shit. It's like quadruple refined. Just not there yet, man. I'd love to be, but I'm not there yet.
Oh man, I'm not there either because I just can't come off. Numbers. It's all about the numbers for me. It just makes sense. Do I want one or three? You know what I mean? I know I'm going to go basically through it at the same rate. Do I want to make that 1 gram last me one time, or when I go
It's
three
so
times as
true.
long? I,
That is so true. You smoke to what you have. If you have a bunch, you're smoking a bunch. If you had a little, you're smoking a little. You smoke to what you have. But if you go through one of those spike zones where you have a whole bunch, it's really hard to fall off of that without making a whole bunch again, and or trying and failing, and
See, I don't indulge like that. The only time I really like indulge and like pamper myself like that, because you can take a spanking, especially up here in Michigan, man. Some of that finer stuff can easily go for $100 a gram. $100 a gram. I'm not paying 100 grams for that. The only time I pamper myself with some shit like that is when I come across a buddy that does something like that. He's like, man, I got something special. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm like, cool, let's talk.
Oh yeah.
Because I won't do it, man. I appreciate all that tasty bullshit and all that, but man,
oh man, it's good. It's good. But the work involved with getting some of that tasty shit, like watching Pedro, oh my god, I have a rosin press and I'd love to do that. That's an insane amount of work, man. That's insane. Maybe I'm just too lowball right now, and I just haven't hit enough really good stuff, and I'm just not stepped up my game far enough. But man,
that's what I was just thinking. We just got to get you those tents full with some fucking dank ass flour and watch that rosin press flow.
Oh yeah, last year I sat down. I put 6 bags through it. Matter of about 2 weeks. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I could have done it a lot faster, but it was for me. So I was dabbing right along and, watching a show of this and that at the same time. It was great. Totally great. But last year I lost about 75% of my outdoor crop to worms. The white butterflies fly around. They kind of come out like a green caterpillar. Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. I'd never thrown away so much cannabis in my life. It made me sick.
It's got to be heartbreaking.
And then I got people telling me, "Oh, just clean it. Just clean." No, man. I'm not smoking worm shit. I'm sorry. I mean, it's not even, you get inside of there and you start looking at it, and there's these little black pellets, and you can see where that black is soaked into the buds, and it's, yeah, when you've got 12-foot tile bushes that are, yeah, last year was I was set on really, really good crop, worms. That's when I decided I'm going to go indoors. This has got to be easier. And I've been eating my words ever since, but man, it's fun. It's a hell of a lot of fun. I don't know. Maybe I got the bug or something, but it's just fun. I'm learning about microbes. Go ahead.
Once you start cultivating it, it does take hold of you. It's a whole new aspect of the cannabis. I mean, you can start smoking it like we all do at an early age, But it isn't until you actually start cultivating it, you gain a whole new respect for the plant. It's a whole new ball game once you start putting that thing in the dirt. It's it's awakening, and it really
I've
is.
never had so much fun learning in my life. I don't know how to. I mean, I've had fun learning about other things, but nothing's ever pushed me so broad. Um, I never thought it would be fun to sit down and listen to a seminar about microbes and the soil food web. But shit, I do that stuff as soon as anytime I see a new something coming up, I'm watching it. I mean, I used to think, God, how boring would it be to sit through a seminar or something? Now I get it. If you're interested enough in something, it's not hard. It's you're just driven to do it. It's that simple.
I think some of that is the presenting and how it's presented. Uh, some people like if they're just like blandly going through it, like it's like their 1500 presentation of it. I'm not as interested. But most of the people you see these days are
Yeah,
so
that's
on
true.
fire. So most of them are so on fire with what they're telling you, and that's what that passion's what draws me in on almost anything. If I can see the passion in somebody's eyes about what they're doing, I'll take time and listen. What is it? Because it's that you can see it in their eyes and the way they talk about it, man. If you're that fired up about something, let me in. I want to know. You know what I mean? Even if it's micros or whatever, man. It's you know what I mean. Look, it's 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 knowledge and passion, and it's energy. Energy is passion, and it can't be created. It can only be transferred. So if they're that passionate, it's just flowing out of them. Why not catch some of it?
Right?
I can use some of that energy.
You know,
Uh,
that's a thing to talk about. Energy. Who is it that you guys talk about frequencies, but you guys don't talk about energies. I guess that could be kind of on the same thing, but like when it comes to people, now there's people that are energy takers, there's people that are energy givers, there's some people that are both energy takers and givers, and then there's people that realize that they can give and take energy. I think I'm
so
too
do you,
confused in life to figure out which one I am, but
tweak. I agree with Twisted. It's all frequency. That was a revelation I figured out years ago. That it's everything's frequency. It's how information's passed. Uh, it's a weird to how to put it into words, but it definitely everything is how you feel. It definitely resonates with everybody else. And like you say, some people take and some people give it, and I think it's just received on. It's meant to be received and how it's received. If somebody's too positive and doesn't really need it, I think it kind of reflects and goes to where it's needed. You know what I'm saying?
right,
And
right.
you've got to have had an instance at some point or another, either good or bad, when you've walked into a room and you felt like everybody is resonating off the energy that you've put out. You know what I mean? Like you could just feel like everybody can sense that you're in the room, either good or bad. You're like, oh, you know what I mean? And that's that energy, that frequency that you're radiating. It transfers. It goes for miles. Like they say that even that relationship can be developed with plants, even miles and miles away. They can pick up on your frequency. Secret Life of Plants talks about that one in that book, and it's pretty amazing. Just frequency alone. They've done a sound frequency test where they've laid sand on a sheet of metal and hooked it up by alligator clips and slowly raised the frequency of sound
How it makes
being
different
applied.
patterns.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
Perfect
seen that.
geometric pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sound waves, the different at different hertage ranges, the different sound waves create different patterns in the sand. I've seen that. That's fucking cool. That gets into a bunch of stuff I don't
And
understand. Like
and geometric patterns, there's a lot of knowledge being locked into them patterns, and they relate to so many things in nature. Flowers, the way they flower, and Fibonacci patterns. I mean, a lot of things that are just in geometric patterns. It's pretty cool. It's really cool how that shit's all intertwined.
I used to have a little wooden weed box that said the universe on the outside of it, and on the inside it had a really awesome fractal design. And I always thought, how much different could it really be? You start thinking about things that are complex like the universe and all that kind of stuff and frequency. Could the universe just be something like a fractal in a box?
Yeah, yeah, it could be. Could be. I've been honestly, and you got anybody can take this for what it's worth. The whole simulation theory has me so perplexed at the moment because I am a big proponent of like manifesting things, and the way you can set things you want in motions. And with that being said, again, I'm a very firm believer in that. So if you can manifest what you want, that means you kind of can control a little bit your destinies and your environments and stuff like that. So then you try to put the complexity on the world we're ever so quickly evolving into with AI, and moreover, what's been going on for the longest time are the data. At one that the whole data gathering on me makes me wonder, if it's all data, and that seems to be our biggest importance. I mean, anymore they don't even give a shit about. It seems like what we're doing anymore. They just want to know how we can do it so they can grab that fucking data and plug it into the matrix and sell it to other people and make
They
algorithms out
just
of
want to
that shit.
know what we're interested in so they can sell us shit. Yes. Yes. That's the only thing
So,
they care
well,
about.
it's not just selling us shit though. It's being programmed into computers and shit. So how it's teaching them how we act, and algorithms are being created about this information. It's not just selling us shit. It's
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's little things, and these things that data collections actually go into like how you charge your battery and shit. On your cell phone, do you keep it full? How long do you charge it before you go to bed? It keeps little facts like that. So when it comes to data, I can't help but wonder if there isn't some truth to, like, say, the simulation theory. You know what I mean? If it
So,
boils all down to them and us being data, could it not be assimilation? Could it? And then, like I said, you put somebody like myself thinking they can manifest some shit, and now you think that you're into some kind of or matrix or simulation. It kind of clicks a little bit,
right?
I don't know.
It kind of does. Kind of does. I don't know, man. That's some deep rabbit hole shit there.
Yeah, it is. Man, I just heard a big bang.
Go
I
check
can't
on it.
figure out what the fuck it was. Sound like something fell over.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it did. Ah, it's all good. It's all good. Stack of cocoa blocks fell over. I stacked them up earlier and they just kind of fucking tipped over. Glad that has a little bit of an explanation there. A little bit of an explanation.
I hate it when random shit happens. You believe in?
Yeah.
You believe?
Especially when you're talking about goofy shit and then you stop
Right.
and something weird like that happens. Ah.
Yeah. I was walking towards my front door today, and it popped open on me, and it kind of made me stop in my tracks and stare at the door for a second. I have no idea why I did it. I was heading towards the front door, and I walked towards it. I don't know if maybe the floor creaked right and it wasn't shut all the way. I don't know. I hate it when shit like that happens.
Yeah, I respect shit like that, man. I really do. I'm like, okay, that was meant to happen.
Yeah, there's some pretty eerie things that are pretty unexplainable that I'm not gonna say do and don't exist because everybody's got their own beliefs on that kind of stuff. But I can't say there ain't some shit, man. I can't say there ain't some shit. I'll leave it at that.
You know, I almost wish I could say that tonight was one of the nights that I indulged a little bit on the microdosing, but that's some straight up just cannabis rabbit hole right there. Oh shit. So, what are some of the strains you've tried to run? You know, when did you try to step out? When was the first time you tried to grow outdoors? Was it outdoors first? You said that?
It was outdoors first. The first strain I tried to grow outdoors was pineapple. It was just straight pineapple. I didn't do any research on it. There wasn't much of anything as far as research. Information was hard to come by at that point on strains yet. We didn't have these great tools like Leafly and everything else that we got now that we can just type it in and go find it. So I wasn't even interested. I just wanted to grow some cannabis, and somebody said, "Here's some pineapple." The first plant I grew, I think I got about. It was a pretty weak looking plant. It was 4 ounces, 5 ounces. It was all right. It was decent smoke, but it wasn't anything great. It wasn't even anything that good. Second time around, I bought 2 clones from the dispensary that had just opened up. We're only allowed 4 in this state, which is kind of ridiculous.
What?
Yeah, 4.
What?
4.
For the whole state?
No, not dispensaries. Plants.
Oh,
legal.
okay,
Yeah. Unless of course you get like patients under you or something like that, then you can grow more plants per patient. I looked it up once upon a time, but until I get to a situation to where I can regularly pump something out with, I don't know what's a good failure rate. I don't know how to percentage any of this shit. I just want to get to the point to where maybe every once in a great while I have something that's like, whoa, what the fuck happened there? And I have to research it. But, where about 90% of my crops are turning out, then I wouldn't mind finding a few patients. But until I get to that level, I just, it's not.
Oh, that should be soon. I mean, within a couple of fucking runs, you should be fine. I mean,
you would think so, but I'm kind of a hard-headed learner. I don't really jump on anybody's recipes. I haven't made a super soil. I'm trying to learn the hard way, per se. I know it's kind of stupid. It's like bashing your head against the wall for absolutely no reason, but I see a lot of reason behind it because it's how I learn, and it's what's going to teach me in the long run versus if I jump in and learn somebody's recipe, then I know how to grow somebody else's weed. That's just how I felt in my mind, because it doesn't matter who I got online with and started watching, this YouTube grower or that YouTube grower, every single one was going to tell me to do something different. So I just decided, okay, this is something I need to kind of figure out on my own. And I've kind of just for the most part of this year that I've been growing up here in this room, it's just been killing things and learning deficiencies and that kind of stuff. And I know it's kind of the hard-headed way to learn, but I kind of figure at one point everything's going to click, and then I'm going to have more knowledge than somebody who just grabbed a recipe. And I'm not dissing the person who grabs a recipe. That's really fucking cool. They're enjoying life a hell of a lot more than I am right now. That's for goddamn sure. That is for goddamn sure. But when everything does start clicking and I have that mild deficiency, I feel like I'll already know what to do. I don't know if that's the exact wrong way to go about learning, but it's just the way I go about it. Does that sound? I don't know. How'd you do it? You just find somebody's recipe and jump right in and.
Oh, actually, fucking, I didn't. I just started with some straight up dirt at first, dirt, and moved on with there to like a Pro Mix Sunshine number 4, then Pro Mix. But you know, deficiencies can be so similar. It's hard to
Yes.
actually be like, okay, I've got a little bit of yellowing here. Well, the yellowing could be, you know, that being
Magnesium,
chasing just that
iron,
come,
calcium.
yeah, they can all look the same. I mean, you have to deduce the whole thing, really, the whole
What did
plant.
I just add?
Yeah.
It
Well,
looked like it
I
was
mean,
yellowing from calcium, or from magnesium. So I just added some mag, and now it's doing this. Did I just lock out iron? Did I just lock out calcium? Did I just? Yeah, it's stuff like that's where I'm. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now, trying to learn that stuff.
so this is the best thing I could tell you to do. If I were to give somebody like yourself that sounds like they've had a few crops, go south on you, and wanted to get a couple going right, this kind of would be my advice. Um, I would go with like an inert material such as Pro Mix or something like that, and get you somewhat of a good nutrient system. You know what I mean? So right off the bat, you're getting pretty much everything you need. And I'm not a fan necessarily of using their feed methods. And again, I go kind of against the grain of a lot of things are said. I prefer to go like quarter to a half strength every feed, and then flush towards the end. I kind of feel like some of the systems that are pushed flush know that their systems are a little bit out of whack, or they know it will get out of whack, so you're going to have to flush. When a company, in my opinion, nutrient company that's basing their shit towards cannabis should know somewhat how the plant's uptaking it, should have the values somewhat in correct proportion to where not necessarily one's being too built up in the form of where I got to flush it out every 2 weeks and then start over.
Right, right,
Doesn't it make more sense? And from that point, you should have somewhat of a decent success rate because you're starting off knowing that you're not trying to figure out where she's swaying. You know what I mean?
right,
You're
right,
gonna start deducing, and then from that point, while things are going somewhat good, and then I'm not saying don't play mad scientist, because I'm still way into the game playing mad scientist to this day. But my room for failure, you know what I mean. I can do it and then cut off a tent and try like organics. Like pretty soon I am gonna
right.
throw uh, Smiley's Earth boxes in here against my method. And we're gonna kind of do a side by side, whatever. But won't be dependent on that area. You know what I mean? Sounds like we need to get your success rate going before you can, you know, then work on your recipe, or work on a recipe while you're doing this. You know what I mean? While you've got some success going, play
Right,
with the
right,
plan on the
right.
side with your. But
Well, I,
why that's going on? This is my another advice here is, and this is very important. And I've tried to get a few people necessarily that want to try to do an episode with me on this, because it can be a little difficult to explain. is how nutrients actually work and how they're being uptaken. Because mobile nutrients are mobile. Some deficiencies, just by looking at a chart, you can know, oh, is it yellowing down just down here and not up top? If that's the case, then you're looking at an immobile nutrient if it's just in one plant. So now you've just taken out a lot of the equation. Now you start going down, looking at your immobile charts. Well, what do these look like? Oh, okay. Now, wow, okay. Now it isn't moving out throughout the whole plant. Now I've got yellowing around the leaves. It could be, fucking phosphorus, iron, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now you have more of a key to, but necessarily if things are spinning out of control and I guarantee once you understand how the nutrients are working for you and how you can identify if it's a whole plant or a partial plant, you know what I mean, that information will be golden to you. That right there will improve your game 60%. 60%, just that
Nice.
alone. I mean, and then from there on, your problem solving and shit will be so much easier. And by that point, you'll have a good system going with a decent feed, and then you'll be experimenting on your own, and then you'll be a little bit more equipped to know, like how you're saying right now, when you're going at your mad scientist, if you're actually deficient on one particular nutrient, how can you necessarily deduce it correctly unless you, like I said, you know exactly which one and what to add. You know what I'm saying? If
Right.
you can deduce
Right.
it down to that necessarily one, now you're like, oh, I just needed Epsom salt. Sprinkle, sprinkle, good.
It,
But
it comes down to just getting. I need to get the grows under my belt. It's like I've said in chat a few times. Learned knowledge versus experienced knowledge are completely different things. I can read a million books on how to grow cannabis, but until I actually grow cannabis a million times, it does. Those million books don't mean anything. I mean, they're going to help me, and I'll have a better start than the
right,
other
right,
person who didn't read them. But it's doing and learning. Experienced learning is different than book learning, or I mean, it's like I can watch somebody on YouTube and I can pretty much do the same thing, but I don't have the understanding until I've done it enough to understand it. And that's what I'm really thinking it comes down to. And I'm not too overly worried about the failures. I have simplified some things now. I'm down to a cocoa. I'm going to do a cocoa perlite, worm castings, and just down to earth, and just keep it simple. I keep hearing that everywhere, and I think that makes the most sense. Just keep it simple, stupid. And I'm always trying to fuck with this and fuck with that, and oh man, I had one that came out that tasted like rotten eggs. I found out that that was overwatering, fucking root rot real bad. She looked so pretty too, and she stunk so bad. Rotten eggs, rotten eggs. A lot of learning.
yeah.
You plant some seeds outside. You didn't have none of this shit. So like I said, I'm eating my words. Growing inside's got to be easier than this shit. No, but it's fun. It's very fun. I mean, everything is fun. The light tech, watching the plant, staring at my plant when I'm baked off my ass after watering it, and just looking at its structure and seeing the way it's growing. I love everything. I'm never going to give this up. I don't care if I fell 150 more times. That's just 150 more times of how not to grow it, right? That's the way I'm looking at it. So I'm not trying to say I'm failing like it's a bad thing. I'm failing and having fun doing it, man. But yeah, I'll take any advice I can get for sure. I mean, hell yeah.
That fucking chat's cracking me up a little bit, man. That's fucking these. There's times where you guys in chat have made it so hard to fucking keep a straight face in the show. I tell you that. JD's telling
Turtles
Twister.
require more effort to ejaculate. Chris Mertz.
JD's 106.3 slow jams is proven to increase uptake in the bedroom by 700%.
700%. Oh, that's awesome. I don't even know how you do that. How do you pay attention to chat and have a conversation at the same time? There's nights where I'm trying to pay attention to chat and listen to you guys at the same time, and sometimes it's just a one or the other, just on the viewing end. I don't know how the hell you do it.
That part of it now, it takes some getting used to. I've gotten a little better on that aspect. You talk about getting comfortable. That aspect, it took, you know, once I actually had to get a pattern to where I had to lay everything out perfect. I mean, it's not easy. What you don't see on my side is like you're right in front of me, and then there's a fucking chat block that's about this fucking tall. You know what I mean? The words are actually like this fucking big. It's
Nice. Nice.
it's hard not to fucking see it. You know what I mean? And
Hell
then when
yeah.
it's, when you've been tagged and I see the red blocks, it makes it easy. That calls my eye to that, and I can kind of back and forth a little bit. I've actually outed myself a couple of times on that. Srelhow is I'm well noted to saying that if you catch me like doing this, I'm kind of reading chat a little bit, but if you catch me kind of off this way, I'm more camera on it a little bit. You know what I mean? If
I've seen you
like
do that.
on,
I've seen you do that.
I'm juggling it a little bit. So yeah, that's my dirty secret. My body position like that, you can kind of tell.
I've seen you do that. I've seen you do that. But it's more than just reading it though, because I can't read the chat and have a conversation at the same time. As far as trying to follow the conversation, I'm gonna lose track of one or the other. Like I might be reading the words and talking in the conversation, but I would be just grazing over those words. Like, when you're in school and they make you read something and you're reading it, but you're not really reading it. The words are going on in your mind, but you're in some other universe. It's kind of like that, because you're trying to pay attention to one thing that's going on, but you're trying to pay. I don't know. I guess it's just a multitask skill you got.
So, how many runs? I mean, how many experiences have you had outside? I mean, do you know some of the strains you've been able to throw out there? Let's go there a little bit.
I've had 5 experiences. Five outside. Pineapple was my first year. Pennywise. I did Pennywise. And I don't remember what the other one was my second year. My third year is when I got a hold of my gorilla cut that I've been doing what everybody told me not to do with, but it's been a great learning experience. Anyways, that gorilla cut is the one I ended up getting 9.5 bags off of, which was fucking amazing. My third year was that gorilla cut again with Tangy. I did okay, but spider mites came on early. I chopped them. I just started throwing away anything that looked like it had any kind of bug activity. I think I lost about 50% of my crop on that one. The fourth year was that same glue cut again, because I was keeping a glue mom at home. And I had learned to clone with her. And I had run another Tangy, and somebody gave me some seeds, said it was Bubba Kush. I don't know. Had great structure, was amazing. It looked like it would have been a motherfuck to trim, but I ended up getting bud rot that year, and I lost a good majority to bud rot that year. And then and then there was just last year with the Gorilla Glue and the Tangy, and that was all worms. That's when I decided to come indoors. And even on indoors, man, I live in this town called Tangent. It's not a, it's just out, it's kind of like one of those little towns outside of another slightly bigger town. And I'm surrounded by grass fields. It's the grass seed capital of the world here. So thrips and leaf miners of all sorts, it's just something that I have to deal with. It's not something that I can rid of because all the fields. I mean, I'm not saying I couldn't. Yeah, sure. If I wanted to throw a lot of money at the situation and turn this bedroom into a clean room and run some filters and shit like that and change my clothes and shower every time I come in, but to be honest with myself, as much as I would like to grow enough to support myself, this is still kind of a hobby at the same time. I don't got any patience, you know. So I'm not going to any kind of level like that. So it's just something a reality that I got to deal with on the norm is thrips and aphids, and I didn't think that was bugs on the inside. I didn't know that was going to be a big deal. Aphids, no big deal. Thrips, a little bit different. I'm finding cinnamon really keeps them away, which is kind of nice. Ever since I started dousing my windowsills with cinnamon, and any seedlings I get, I'll douse them with cinnamon. They just seem to stay away for a little bit longer, but I've got one in flower. I'll show you in a second. It's not the biggest plant in the world by any means, but I just saw one on her the other day, and I went over top to bottom, and she was totally clean. It's just a shitty thing about living in grasslands, I guess. Thrips. Everybody says, man, thrips are bad. Thrips, they're not really that bad. But cinnamon. Use cinnamon. Don't use it in flour. Don't use anything in flour, but hell, your plants will love it. You can douse your flower. Your take a small cannabis plant. You can douse the shit out of it. Rub it all down. It can look like it's, just covered in cinnamon, and it'll grow right out of it. It loves it. It loves it. I don't know what it is about it. It doesn't seem to harm anything. I don't know if it's doing much to the pH to my soil. That's probably my biggest worry, but cinnamon. Got any other? There's something I found online. It was just something I found online. It's more of a deterrent. It'll kill some bugs from what I understand, but I don't know. Maybe somebody in chat knows something more about cinnamon. It was something I read somewhere, and I don't know. I'm not going to spray chemicals, and I'm tired of, I don't know how many damn batches of soap I've mixed up with olive oil, and you can only spray that shit so many times before you start, I don't know. Just trying to find alternate methods.
Seems to work pretty good as a decent IPM. Heard great things about the Dr. Zymes. I haven't used it myself, but as of late, I've heard a lot of people talking about using it, all through the phases. Flower if they have to.
I've heard the name Dr. Zymes a million times, and I haven't looked it up yet. I have no idea what the hell it is.
On my bed, I've reached out to them, and they fucking said, yeah, shoot me an email, and almost all the email fucking invites. I'm like, yeah. For some reason, I always hold off on the fucking emailers, and then I never follow up. So Dr. Insight said Dr. Science had said they'd come on the show, but I just haven't shot them an email. I don't know what it is. I'm terrible about shooting out emails and shit. It's like a whole different platform. Instagram's so easy and shit. Then it's like, oh, I gotta stop and start sending out emails. Damn it. I gotta sit down.
I don't know. I'm finally getting to the point to where I'm thinking Instagram's easy. I don't know, maybe. I'm not as old as you, man, but things are getting harder. Technology's getting more difficult. I'm forgetting how to do shit on my phone that I've done when like I set a lock up on my phone when I first got this phone. I can't remember how to fucking undo the lock. I'm sure if I went into the settings long enough, I'd probably figure it out. Shit's just getting more complicated. I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case at all.
Or am I just getting too comfortable with certain things, and I don't like to get out of my box because I'm getting old?
It's kind of what you're saying right there is The phone, I've said it fucking as technology came on long ago. It's making us stupid. It's really making us stupid because we don't think for ourselves anymore about anything. Phone numbers. I mean, I used to
My
be able to remember
God,
fucking
phone numbers.
hundreds of phone numbers
I
without a
don't think I
booklet or
ever really
anything.
memorized more than 20 numbers, but man, yeah, that
Fuck,
was a thing. I still know my
good
mom's
friends
number.
right now. I'm like, if I were to lose my phone, I would be out of
I'd be
contact with fucking
fucked.
tons of
I
people.
wouldn't know how to
It's the
call
same
anybody. I'd be fucked.
same things with just about anything, man. You sit down, you got a math problem, you don't sit down and write that fucker down and do three problem pages of math anymore. You go
No, I
Google.
pull out the
What's an answer?
calculator.
Yeah, calculator, you Google it. You don't sit down and necessarily think for yourself anymore. That's where we're going wrong. We're not getting dumber. We're just letting other shit think for us, and we're kind of forgetting the basics in some of the aspects. You know what I mean? We're not getting dumber. We're just kind of forgetting how to do the shit. The memory's there. We're just not storing it. We're so relying on everything else to tell us. We're like, I don't
Right?
even need to waste brain space on that anymore. You know what I mean? And but which is great while we have it. But what if fucking we get the hit with that gamma wave and it takes out all
Oh,
our fucking shit? Now we're all gonna be dumb as fuck because Google won't be there, our phone won't be able to. You know what I mean? I don't even remember how to fucking write a letter anymore. What the fuck? Shit, how do we communicate?
well, I'm fucked. Because if anything like that ever happens, it's going to go straight to the Dark Ages, and I don't own a gun. And the worst thing you got to worry about in any kind of apocalypse situation is other people that want shit from you. So I might have some skills that I'm learning how to grow some stuff, and I know how to grow some stuff outside, but maybe not as much as the next guy.
Like I said, I'm not worried, man. I don't even like as far as like ready to eat meals and shit like that. Shit like that. I figure I'm good. I honestly think all I need are my fucking nail bags and my bug out box full of seeds. Them two things right there, I can fucking be all right, man. I can hunt, I can fish, I can fucking, as long as I got my bags, I can nail some shit together, build or something, or build myself something. And as long as once once some seeds pop, I have plenty of shit to trade for food.
Oh, yeah.
I, I
Oh,
guarantee it
yeah.
won't take long for somebody want to trade some fucking beef for fucking zip again. I don't think the apocalypse is going to take that out of check. I
No,
really
no, no, no. No, the unfortunate thing is the people with the guns and the power are going to be the ones that are going to come around and steal you and make you grow for them. And you'll be
I
there.
don't
You'll
even.
be there. It'll be all Mad Max and
Oh
shit,
no,
man.
no. Oh, dude,
Uh-oh, I think he muted.
my thing fucking knocked it over there. Even at that point, I think along the way, somebody's gonna want to come along and fucking trade. You know, they're gonna be
Oh,
down and out. They're gonna be like, "Man, I'll trade you this pistol for it."
that's
I'll
always
be
going to
like,
be a
"Yeah,
money
brother."
that's always going to be green. That's always going to be a green money that's always going to hold some sort of value. It's valuable, man, but it's not valuable. But it's valuable. I don't. It's a weird thing. I've
It might
never
just have to
sold
be the
any.
first exchange I fucking make. You find out the guy that's got the most guns, and then you just trade with him first, and you're good.
Oh, and you know, in that situation, I would definitely have no problem selling. I've never sold anything though. I've never had any intentions on selling anything either. I you know,
Never said trade. You notice here, brother. I never said. Never
no,
once I
no,
said
no, no, no,
sell.
no,
I
no,
said
no. It'd be
trade.
trade. It'd be trade. It'd be trade. Everything would be a trade because it's not money. But I'm just thinking all my life of you know, I was always the guy that knew the guy that all my friends went. You know, I'd go in, but I never sold anything. Even though my guy was always like, "Hey man, you're always here. How come you never sell it? Why don't you just buy a bigger thing and sell it?" I don't know. I was never that guy. I was always the guy that just bought it because I wanted to use it. And that's kind of the same reasons why I'm growing it. I'm the guy that wants to grow it because I want to use it. I don't want to trade it. But if that motherfucker's got food and it's the end of the world, I'll trade it because I can grow more.
That's how it all started. I mean, that's the way it should really be, though. It should be back to the barter system where, one guy is just growing out a shitload of tomatoes. He trades tomatoes for fucking corn and other things he needs. While,
I'd
one
sure like
person's
them to
just
see them cut some of the regulations. I'd sure like to be able to grow this like tomatoes and put up a little farm stand like any of the farmers have the ability to do, I mean, I don't know what makes this such a special plant other than they just held it from us for so long. Now they don't know what to do that it's out in the open.
I
It's
mean, well, now that it's out in the open, it sure does make things a little bit easier.
it
Sometimes
makes
I'm too
everything
out.
easier, but it kind of makes things more awkward too because now we have this massive distrust with the government and there's nobody to fucking take it. You can't point a finger at one person. I mean, sure, we could all say, the evil people that made this happen, we could follow the money trail from who paid for the propaganda to stop it in the first place. But it's one of those things that's it's so old that there's nobody left to point fingers at. But it just makes us get this massive distrust for our government to the point of it's just awkward now. Yeah, it's easy, that's great, but you start thinking about it, it's like it kind of makes you want to run to the woods and grow anyways. Live off the barter system. No?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what that's funny is that's the thing. I think that's man. I think that's funny that you kind of say are taking me down this little rabbit hole. Is I think the cannabis plant is kind of coaching us down that road anyway. Is I look back and over the cannabis scene as it is, and I watched like say this organics revolution, as you will, start to take off or take over. Which is another thing I think it's funny is I think the cannabis industry of as of late has really started to really push a lot of science, not just in my well, what I see it in for this instance is like microbiology science. The cannabis, it seems like the cannabis industry is like really kicking that industry of science in the ass. I mean, we're like, we want to know more. Give us, teach us about the soil and shit. So that aspect of science, the cannabis industry really seems to be pushing that forward too. But it's just everything else around it. It's what I see also with that is people's interest in organics, and from there it's like taking the wanted to go into organics and then taking to the next level, and that's like recycling our food scraps and
Permaculture.
composting things and shit like that. Which are again, all right. Now we started to do it a little bit for our cannabis plants, but now all of a sudden, again, you didn't even see it coming, but now you're fucking outside with compost piles and being a little bit more a steward of the earth and growing vegetables and shit. You see where I'm going with this. I mean, it's like it's coaching us into that backward system of taking care of ourselves and taking care of, the earth in itself. It's
Well,
really weird how it's
some
working out
people
like
like
that.
to think that the things that we as humans do are outside of nature, but we as humans are created as part of nature, so why would anything we do or create not be an act of nature? Right? That's some deep shit right there, but I mean, you don't question why an animal does something, you just say, oh, it's natural. But if a human does something, whether it's, hey, you made a machine, that's unnatural. Is it unnatural? Nature
See,
kind of
that's what
made that
makes us.
machine. Nature made that machine, not a human. I mean,
See,
yeah, it
that's
was
what
human, but
that's what makes us special, though. What you're saying right there is exactly what's makes us special. A tree can't be anything but a tree. A fucking cat can't be nothing but a cat. A dog can't be nothing but a dog. We're the only thing on this fucking universe or on this planet that can change ourselves and what we want to do at any point in time. Our
yeah, but
habits, any.
we can't be anything more than a human.
Oh, but we can change what we're doing as humans, what we eat, our habits, what we're taking in, how we treat other things around us.
Oh well,
We
true,
have it.
true, true. We have more. What do you call that? IO. We have more connections to the world in different ways than the plants do. We have mobility. We have, yeah, but that doesn't make us not nature.
No, no, we are definitely nature.
I mean,
For sure.
it doesn't make us not nature. And it doesn't make us what we do not natural. I think there's a weird thing there where some people think that people are somehow outside of nature, and what we do is outside of nature. I just don't think that's a thing. I think nature coaxes us into doing things. If the planet needs healing, then maybe it'll kill us off and heal the planet, or maybe it'll find a way to teach us to heal it for us.
No, no, no. We are definitely not outside of nature in that point. I think
No.
that's where we fuck. That's where we're fucking up. Is we think that we're above nature like that. You're exactly right there. I
Right.
mean,
We are a part, the
we're
same part of nature as the dog or the cat or the bird or the plant or the tree.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right there in that aspect. You're right. Um, but we're the. I guess that's what I said is actually what's fucking up the process because we figured out we can be a little bit different, and I guess we realize. I'm realizing in my statement here is that's what we need to do is realize our check in nature, fall back in the line of nature there, let things a little bit be a little bit more natural. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. That's more rabbit hole shit. Sorry. I don't have a lot of grow
Definitely well.
things to share, man. Sorry. I can.
Well, it's all
Let's
good.
see
This
here.
is you haven't even told us like what lights you ran or anything like that, or I mean, you
I
haven't even
keep
told
hitting
us
this
how
button. All right.
what your system is.
Okay. I can't see anything here. Let's see. Here's a little 2x4 tent. This is probably where I'll start the ceilings for the grow off or the grow along. Right now I've got a oh, I believe that's one of my Tangy glues. I mislabeled it. It's growing like it. A little light I built
But
there.
it's Pro Mix. Is that what you're in?
No, that's just man, that's cocoa, perlite, worm castings, some down to earth, and then I just picked up some Charlie's compost that I mixed on top there, just to add a little extra biology. I don't know if that's going to do that much. It looks a little stunted. It's been growing a little bit slow. Don't know much more to say about that. Topped her the other day. I mean, she's looking pretty
Oh, yeah,
decent.
she's
You can
good.
see where there's some leaf miner damage there. You can see where some of the bottom leaves are still really browned out from being a clone and pulling out of the humidity dome a little too soon. Then
Built the light yourself? What
I just grabbed
kind of
some of
light?
these. These were just I believe they were LM561 strips. I found online. They already had the heat sinks. They were 36 volts, and so I just grabbed a 80-watt Meanwell driver and slapped it on there, man. As I said, once I figured out that it was no different than attaching speakers, it was, yeah. Clicked in a couple eye bolts. It's nothing. I mean, yeah, you know, a lot of people out there might say that's a little janky, but hey, it's an 80-watt light, full spectrum. It's great for veg, man. It doesn't quite outbeat my Mars Hydro, that TS 1000, but it's not. It doesn't have the same. And I got my mini fridge here. I turned into a little grow box. I have a humidifier that I hook up to the back, and I start my seedlings in here. I got my fucking talking shit bottle there, chilling. So badass. So badass. Got my cups. Just gotta clean them as soon as I get those seeds. I'm gonna clean those cups out and get some dirt ready and get ready for that grow along. This has been a project tent here. Chris Mertz will probably know these boards. These are some QB132s, 4K. Just ran some aluminum L channel, I think they call that, or whatever. I just cut it to like 20 inches and screwed a couple boards on there and wired them up to HLG 150. I think that'll actually put out upwards of 200 watts is what I've actually got it turned up to right now. And then in the middle here, I've got a rapid LED. It's just got a 75 watt Cree CXB 3590, I believe, and that's a 3000K. So altogether, this tent will do 280 watts, which should be enough to flower under. Should be plenty enough to flower under when I get there. These plants were having some troubles until I doused them with cinnamon the other day, and now they're coming back. I washed them off this morning, and they've just been bouncing right back, which has been really awesome. These two other ones over here, I'm about ready to just go ahead and toss. Trouble plants. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'll figure it out. Or maybe I'll give them another week, see if they bounce back. I'm not too overly worried about things right now.
They look a little on the dry side. A little on the dry side.
A little on the dry side, but they're not drooping yet. And that's another thing I'm trying to teach myself is I want to see them droop. I want to see how light they get. I need to know that. I should have taught myself that much earlier. And it's something I'm forcing myself to learn now. Because I believe my water practices have been a little out of hand. And this would have been... Go ahead.
I think that's just a matter of getting to know your medium, really.
Yeah.
I find the biggest tip is just like when you transplant it into your pot there and you're somewhat dry, get to know that feeling. And then when you get close to being able to be at that, that's when you need to be watering or close to being watering there. That's how I taught myself, seriously, is years and years and years of fucking picking up them pots. Just fucking
picking them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started picking them up.
I did that for years and years and years before I figured out my watering technique. I swear to God. Just picking them up. Oh, this one's good. This one's not. This one's good. This one's not.
This one I planted two in, both platinum blueberry. Well, one mailed out, so I ended up cutting him down. It would have been really nice with them both leaning opposite directions. But I don't know if I turn this sideways. She's only on what is today? The 30th, 31st?
30th. Well, now it's the 31st, I guess. It's officially 31st. Yep, it's Monday the 31st officially.
Yeah, so she's 30 days into flower. She's going to be a little chunky, I think. Can't wait.
Yeah. 30 days, she's looking pretty good. Damn good.
Well, my only problem right now is this. I'm not going to worry about it because I don't know if you could. It's so hard to see with this lighting, but
A little faded.
this leaf here, like this leaf I just plucked off, there's just some leaves that are starting to fade, and on day 30, I think I might have. I think I'm just going to water another time, and then maybe I'll recharge just for some microbes and see where that hits me before I do anything, because I don't know if I might have locked something out.
Yeah, that could happen. And watering with microbes is usually one of the best answers there, because then the microbes start breaking down and using up from building up that root zone and using up that shit that's still in the pot there.
Right.
I like to hit them with some micros like 2 weeks before I go into flower, and then that first week of flower for the last time to hit them with a little bit of micros and water, basically, water them in that first week just to kick that root zone in the ass one more time before it starts to flower. Make sure everything's healthy and on point. But and right now it wouldn't be too bad, it wouldn't be too late to add some microbes watered into that right there. Make sure everything's a popping.
Right. Anyways, that's where I'm sitting with it right now. That's all I've got going on. And in this tent, I've got my old lady. My old lady made my Christmas this year because I was talking about going indoors. I was talking about all these lights. I'd done all my research. I knew what light I wanted. I knew this, I had to have, this is the light, this is the light, this is the light, this is the light. And I found this shit under the Christmas tree. This is the Rapid LED Grow Mouse version 3 pucks, 300 watt. Oh my God. I was so just, it was like, well, it was Christmas Day, man. It was awesome. My old lady, now see, there's more to that story. My old lady, when I first got with her, she told me no drugs. No drugs. No drugs. And for a little bit I tried. For a little bit I tried, and I'd sneak off with the buddies and we'd still get stoned and that kind of shit. And she's always been very anti-pot. She doesn't even like the smell of it today, but she has told me that ever since I started growing, the smell has gone down. Because I'm running charcoal filters. I'm overly cautious about washing my hands and shit like that. I don't know. She got that from me from Christmas. I almost lost my shit, man. So I'm sitting pretty good with lights and stuff, and I know I'm just on that verge of a breakthrough. I'm going to have that ta-da moment any month now, and it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait. But I'm still that guy that's locked himself away in his room for a year. I'm just at the tail end of it. I hope. Oh.
Looks like you're on the right path. I mean, that girl there looked like you were going to get a nice little yield out of her.
Yeah, I hope so. Sorry, I'm not. This is the first time using this whole Zoom thing, man. I'm not too proficient is the word I'm looking for.
Don't worry.
Sorry.
It's all in fun. It's all in fun. So yeah, I can't wait to see you run the grow along strains there.
I can't wait. I have to come through honest with something. I think you might have sent me twice, man.
Yeah.
I sent you an email. We were, you know, you get all stupid and stoned and shit, and now that's a horrible excuse, but it's my excuse. And I sent you an email one night because you were on a show, and I said something. I said something about, I guess I do want to be in the screw off. Do I just need to send you an email? And I think you text back yes. So I sent you an email, and then you'd sent me a thing through IG saying, send me your address. And I said, it's also over here. And I've gotten a mailed confirmation on both of those.
Then you probably did.
So if I end up with an extra pack of seeds, then I'm gonna pay it forward. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, no worries if you got to. I mean, shit, you might have been that lucky to where you were on both ends of it. And if you're that lucky, fucking keep them. If you're one, you know what I mean? Them emails were a little bit of a separation there. You could have got one email from the Jelly Bean side, and the second one could have been Agent Orange. And fucking, if you're that lucky, then fucking power to you. You got both of them. Score, keep them, dude.
I just had to come out. I want to be honest about it. I wasn't trying to like hit you from two angles there, man. I'm just letting you know.
I can't believe that I didn't catch it because I actually caught a little bit of that early on, and I started making a list. Then now when I started doing like emails, and like they'd see the address, I'd quickly run down the list and see if it matched like Instagram or the email, just to say, okay, I got that one already. Because I seen that early on a couple of times, and I actually had to go back, and I kind of got smart early on about that. Started just kind of making a list so I wasn't, as I went down and opened them up, I could double check a little bit. But it sounds like if you got two mails, from me, you got two packages coming, because every time I fucking
I'm sorry, brother, man. I'm not trying to get you to send out more mails than you need to.
I'm serious, man. As I'm going down the list, I'm doing that package. I'm sitting here, I stuffed it, I wrote it out, I sealed it, and I fucking went mailed, returned, next person, next package. Serious, one by one, mailed, next one, mailed, next one. Yeah. So there's a good chance if you got two responses that said mailed, yeah, you got.
Your hands start cramping up. Your fingers strong enough for all them years of trimming that your hand didn't cramp up writing out all them envelopes?
No, it wasn't too bad. It was more fun to see the guy's look on his face at the post office when because
oh my God,
the way he shipped them, he saved me a little bit of cash the way he had me ship them, but so he had to stamp like every one of them non-machinable. You know what I mean? And
right.
So he's looking at me and he's like, how many of them are there? And I was like, well, 93. And he's sitting there looking at me like, shake, 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 shake. He's like throwing them back at me. And I'm like, all right. What worked out to be is like, to save him some time, he ended up like just like sending me, he stamped everything for me and he sent me off with a book of stamps. All right, now all you got to do is fucking, because it was like, working on 5 o'clock. I'm like, dude, if it's just a matter of fucking smacking stickers on these fuckers, I can do that. If you're, poised to get out of here, man, fuck this. I can get it. I just walked in with 90 fucking things that he would have had to computer. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. So I just went out in the parking lot and sat there and fucking posted, and then I drove up to the box, here's another funny story about that right there is I kind of get a little nervous about that. I'm realizing that I just pulled up to this post box and was shoving all these similar note envelopes from the same person into the one box. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna shove all these in here at once. So I shoved them all. I shoved about like half of them in there, and then like the next day I went back. Hopefully, a different person did the pickup that day and fucking shoved the rest of them in there. You know what I mean? So it wasn't one basket. Somebody just
Right.
going, "Wow, somebody a little heavy-handed today." Red flag, but I try to think about little things like that.
It takes a special kind of person to work in a mail at one of those post offices like that and take in mail. I used to work over at the HB here in Corvallis, and I was working in the shipping department, and day in, day out for about 5 years, I did shipping labels, and I never thought about you. I never had more sick, disturbing thoughts about a job than I ever did about that place. And it was more along the lines of, I wonder what would happen if I drove a forklift into that and just watched it go. Shit like that, because you would get the tedium of entering address and after address after address after. I got really good at it after a while, but it takes a special kind of person to do that kind of job. They need a tip jar. They need something. They need to not be governmental funds so they could actually, I don't know. They need more props. Some of those people are straight assholes, but some of those people, man.
Yeah, so that seemed like that could be a tough one to deal with for sure, for sure. Man, I actually thanked the guy at the grocery store today, man, for fucking just this whole thing, man. These I'm tough briefly on the bullshit everyday life, but I'm in the store wearing my fucking mask. And so I fucking go through the store and I actually pulled it down. I got a little tired of it. I pulled it down. And I'd seen the clerk of the store. It's a small town store. And I tell my daughter, I'm like, I better put this on because I know there's cameras up by the register. What store don't? You know what I mean? And I say to my daughter, well, I'm not going to use their name. I don't want this person to fucking get in trouble. You know what I mean? Because I'm walking up there and not put my mask on. So, and I know they get in trouble. You know what I mean? If they don't say something. So why even put them through it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I go up there and I put it on. He's like, man, I hate this fucking thing. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, I get it. I get it. He's like, I said, personally, I don't know how you wear that thing for 8 fucking 10 hours a day, then argue with people that they have to wear theirs when you're miserable wearing yours. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
could see he was clearly worked up about it. And as miserable as I am wearing it, I made sure and I told him because I could see he was clearly having a bad day about it. I was like, I just want to tell you that I personally understand that you're fucking miserable behind that thing. And I want to thank you that, you're doing it so I can come in here and get my fucking food. You know what I mean? I even told him, I said,
Hell yeah,
I was
man.
one I was one of the people that wasn't wearing a mask, but then I talked to another person that, one of the managers in the store, and it was a different day, and I could see she was just red. You know what I mean? She just people giving her such shit. Fuck you! I ain't gotta wear it. And all they really have to say is medical reasons, and then realistically, that's all the conversation has to go. But there's people that don't want to do that. They just would rather go, fuck you, I don't have to wear it and shit. And they're like, support thing was like, man, I've dealt with this all day. And it was after that conversation, I was like, you know what? At least here in these my local store with the people that I deal with every day, man, I don't want to give these people any more fucking grief, headache. They're doing a
No,
service, and then
man.
I see people fucking, they that day too. She's telling me, she's like, man, this store is down to like fucking 6 people running this bitch. We can't even get people to work and come in here. And then this stress, and that was a game changer for me. I was like, you know what? She wasn't giving me shit about it in my mask. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? I'm just, if I can make her life easier and everybody else that works here, I'm just gonna fucking fuck it. I'm gonna do it. But I did. I felt like I wanted to make sure that I showed him my gratitude, because straight up, man, without people like him and having bad days and dealing with people. Sometimes a thank you, as I say every night, man, little things like thank yous and shit like that can fucking really make go, God damn it, it is worth it. And I'm dead serious about it,
It
man.
is
If he
worth
was
it, man. There's not enough people that do it these days. I see it all the time. It's so easy when you're standing in line at the fucking dispensary and that old guy that gets in line with the walker that's standing in the back of the line. I got more time than he's got. There is no reason why he can't go in before me. It's simple stuff like that, I I try to do stuff like that. It's amazing how often I see people walk in and shut doors on and not hold a door for people. It drives me nuts, but I think it's awesome that you have a platform that you can voice that on a nightly basis, because more people need to hear it. But I can scream at the top of my lungs out there in public, and people are just going to be like, "Well, that guy's fucking crazy." But it is something that needs to be heard more. Do something nice for somebody. I mean, this is our fucking world. It can either destroy it or we can make it the Garden of Eden. And if we make it the Garden of Eden, that means we got to figure out a way to get along with each other too. I mean, I don't know, man. You know, Maybe I got too many social anxieties. That's why I hermit out in this fucking room and hide from the world. But this is. I'm tired of going out there and seeing that shit happen. I'm tired of going out there and seeing people run over people for the next good thing instead of giving somebody a hand. It's just all over the place, man, and it's a hard thing to watch. And it's a great thing to have somebody like you that's got a platform that can actually say something that like that on a nightly basis, like I said, because it's just not something that's heard enough. You're on mute.
I tell you what, you know what I need to do is we talk about people wanting to fucking help out. I should have like a coin jar right here for fucking every time I hear that. Ting! I could fucking do improvements to the show probably just from that and shit. Here's fucking $40. Fucking your mic's off. Be my swear jar, your mic's off jar. Quarter every time. Oh, I forgot what I was even
It must be
saying.
a lot easier on PC to mute this. You're
Yeah,
running
you
this
can
off your
either.
desktop computer, right?
Yeah, you can just hit the space bar to mute and unmute on the fucking.
Oh wow, yeah. See, I got to reach up and touch the fucking corner of the screen, and then if I miss, it does something funny, and I fuck it. I don't have a webcam though, and I don't think I can pass my phone through my computer as a webcam. I don't think they have that shit yet, or they do, and I just don't know how to set it up, and it's more than I'm willing to put up with.
If they do, they let me know, because I'd much rather use my fucking Samsung 20 for a camera, because that thing's on point. It's much better than this fucking webcam I've got. But man, I wish I could use that thing and just hook it to my fucking PC. That'd be fucking
Just bypass
sweet.
your PC and use it as a webcam. That'd be great.
Fuck yeah. Aloha 808 Rooting Prospect. Second night, I believe I've seen you in chat. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Holy shit, Seb.
oh, oh Jesus! That's the first time I've heard that.
What's that?
I'm so fucking nervous right now. I laugh a lot when I'm nervous. I do. I resort to laughing. I'm a laugher. It happens.
No worries. So, Yeah. Um, where do you think after a couple runs, where do you think you could improve right now? I mean, just looking outside your garden, where do you think some if you could tweak some things, if you had an extra, yeah, whatever, what would you change right now in your room? I mean, if you
Environment.
hit the environment, it
Environment.
took you about a half.
If I could afford more, I would have a humidifier in here because with being upstairs in the summertime right now, running a small air conditioner, my humidity usually runs down as low as 25 on the normal, which is just too fucking low. So I'd like to be able to have a little more energy so I could run some extra humidity.
Right on, right on.
I think 25 is just a little too low and it makes everything grow a little too fucking slow.
Well,
I think I need to be
honestly,
right around 40, 50. Yeah, 30 to 50 as long as it's swinging.
to be honest with you, brother. Uh, again, just I don't. I honestly usually even when I was giving you advice earlier, I was thinking to myself, shut the fuck up. Really, because I don't like to give advice. I really
No, dude,
don't.
give advice. Everybody has their own things they want to do. If you see something or you hit me, maybe I'll take it, maybe I won't. But I'm not gonna turn it down. If you got something, say it, dude. Totally. Hell
That
yeah.
first tent, I noticed you had that thermometer sitting right there in your in the pot there, and I noticed the plant wasn't that tall, so I noticed that they it couldn't have been that different. You know what I mean? From
Right, right,
where
right.
that to the canopy, basically the top of the canopy, which under in an LED instance, you want that top of that canopy to be like 85 to be efficient. So, which is telling me either you need to drop that light down or your room could be hotter. You know what I mean? You might want to shut that air. If you feel that it's getting enough light, you may want to shut that air conditioner off and let the room temp come up a little bit to a better, temperature for the LED there. And that would, increase your humidity a little bit right there, and not having to run the air
Right,
conditioner.
but everything in that little 2x2 there is that's my the main reason for the air conditioning being on is the 2x4 tents run 10 to 12 degrees hotter than the room. So if I don't have the room down to 76, 75, then those tents are running at 90 degrees, and that's too hot.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, to
No,
be honest.
no,
No,
90, 92 ain't too hot.
not in the top of the tent. Not in the top of the tent if you're talking, you know what I mean? We're talking about the
Right.
leaf temperature 85, you know what I mean? So if you're running the overall temperatures in the top of the tent, I mean, like these right here, there's very little going on in there. And even at the light, it's only like 86, 90, something like that. So, in the top of the 10, if you had 90, you'd be good. I still think you'd be all right. LED environment, yeah. They just, for some reason, the LEDs like to be a little bit warmer. It's not an HPS. If it was an HPS, they'd want to be that 75. But you're not HPS. You're running LED. They want to be in a warmer environment. That's just my 2 cents on that.
See, right at mid level, I've got in my main tent here, I've got a temp and a humidity. It's sitting right at 82 and 27. Do I really want to go that much higher
That's
than 82?
Well, that leaf temperature. I mean, if you had a heat gun and you hit that top
Right,
leaf
I don't
right
have a leaf gun. I'm sure it's not as because
there,
yeah, the LEDs don't
yeah,
radiate the same kind of heat. I do understand that, but
I
what
get it.
about that?
Well, even at that thermometer I was looking at was really close to canopy height. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah,
right on this one.
well, there too. You know what I mean?
Right.
76. You got a couple degrees you can come up. You can either get that by dropping that light down or letting the room come up a little bit, either or. But yeah, that one back there, I think you could easily shake it up to 85 and be just fine. Well,
How much does a lower humidity play into?
even right now, Chris Mertz is saying 82 ideal leaf temperature, 80, but 85 is perfect. 808 rooting prospect was saying, when did he say something? I forget what he said. I read it and it went by. I think he said, yeah, that sounds a little warm, but yeah, Dr. Buzz Lightyear, 82 is fine. I run my 10 at 85, like Hating Life says,
As I said, the only
But
reason why the 2x2 is running cooler is because it's always open to the room. The door is always open on it. I'm just vegging in it, and I do have the air conditioner running because the 2x4 tents run about 10 degrees hotter than the room, and I was just afraid of those plants getting up into the 90 degrees. I don't.
Spaniard Kruger says plants shut down the metabolic process at 90, 95 degrees. So,
And I
again, I
also
have to argue
realize air
that
temperature isn't the same as plant temperature either, and I don't have a way to. I don't have a.
right, yeah.
I could go get one. They're not that expensive. Is it something that's that really? Is it really that detrimental? I mean, at the end of the day,
Well,
I mean,
no, but like in this instance, you said you're open to tests and stuff. So,
oh, totally.
drop one down. Yeah. So like I would say just drop it down and see what it does for a few days to see. I think that you're gonna find out that plant right there will take off. It'll be that much more happier in a little bit warmer environment. I do. I really do.
Do you think I should just go about that by dropping the light down a little bit further, or?
Yeah. I mean, it didn't look terribly bright in there, too
No,
overly bright.
it's only 80 watts. It's only 80 watts, and it's sitting at about. I want to say it's about 2 feet right now. I haven't measured it exactly. I measured it a couple times before. I've moved it up and down. Not sure exactly where to keep. I'm still trying to figure shit out, man.
Yeah, yeah. And again, it sounds like for 80 watts, a couple feet off is I think it'd be more like 18 to 16 off the canopy on something like that. So yeah, I think you should bring it down. Yeah, and yeah, both instances there. It'll raise the temperature, and yeah, I'd lower it. I most certainly would. At least
Oh
six
yeah.
inches and see where it takes you. I mean, again, it only a day or two you don't see, something happen, or you don't like
Right.
whatever.
It's not gonna burn it unless I'd have to cram it down to 8 inches or less probably to burn it. I don't have a light meter, so I don't know what everybody says. They'll veg around 200 to 300 par. Well, I don't got a par meter. Most people don't have a par meter, so I don't know how to veg around 200. So I watch a video and watch somebody. Okay, they're running this light. It's about this far away. I'm trying to. That's a really bad way to do it. I realize that. I know I could take a little meter on my phone, but at the end of the day, I kept thinking, well, if a plant doesn't have enough light, it's going to stretch out real fast and get long internodes, right? Like it'll be
If
reaching
you,
for light.
yeah, yeah, if it's too far, Chris Mertz says those 132s can get really close.
Oh yeah, they're really
Buzz,
spaced out. They're really spaced out. But
Buzz
in that,
Lightyear's
go ahead.
asking if you calcium in your feed.
Yes, I use my mix is biofish, rose and flour mix, and fish bone meal, and like a very small amount, and I mean like a teaspoon. I don't care what the box says of languinite, and then if I need to amend more magnesium, I will from there. But so far, that's what I've started on now, and things have been going the best for me so far. I don't know.
The dot.
Gotta get. I just got to get more under my. I got to get more experience, man. I got to grow more plants. I know that. uh,
No worries.
Just
Yeah,
gotta grow
man.
more, damn it. I just gotta grow more. I'm gonna get there. I'm never gonna quit. I caught the bug, and I got too much money into it. Some people, I knew a guy that bought a 4x8 tent, a couple of Thowies, even rewired his house with a 220. He did one grow. He realized how much it was costing him. He didn't know enough about growing. We didn't get that much off of it, and he sold everything. And I've heard that story a million times. I'm not going to do that. I don't care what anybody says. That's not me. I'm in it for the long haul. I don't care if I got to fail a million times. I'll take anybody's advice and try it. Try to mix anything and match anything with what I'm already doing if I can. If I have to throw shit away and start all over, I guess I got to throw shit away and start all over. But it's for me right now. It's hobby. It's fun, and it's a lot of learning.
Well, see, that's the purpose of this fucking grow along right here. That is the whole purpose. To be honest with you, is the accelerated grower and the newbies to post along. You know what I mean? Post their
That's
pictures.
exactly why I decided to do it. That's exactly what I decided to do it. I'm sitting back with it. For all you people that think you have too much anxiety that you can't come on this show and it's really, really hard, I've had to talk myself into this for about 100 episodes now. I've wanted to come on this show for more than 100 episodes now, guys. This is awesome. There's no reason why you can't do this. Come up here. Let's give us another night. That's the reason why I joined this grow along, because it was like, man, this is an opportunity of a lifetime, and I was almost too afraid to do it. My anxiety almost won, man. I'm so glad I jumped in. I'm super, super, super glad. I don't know how to show my gratitude or repay you for your kindness, other than I'm gonna be posting as much as I can without hopefully over-posting. And I hope others do too. This is thanks, man. I appreciate this. Thank you.
No worries.
I'm hopefully gonna learn a lot from a lot of people, and it was all because you opened the door, man.
Thank you. I just want people to get something out of it. If anything, it's going to be a chance to further bond and talk. Give us something all to talk about. That common line to, hey, did you see your plants? Your plants are looking good. It's just going to be something else that we did together. So that
cool.
Was the thought.
And it's not competitive, which is awesome. Because, well, we all know how that's going to go. Some are going to do amazing, and some aren't. I guess I don't know. I'm kind of an anti-competitive person when it comes to things like this, because it's more of a, I don't want to compete with somebody, even if it was. I don't care who had the best of the best of the best. It's more of the sharing of knowledge. I don't know, man.
Isn't that the ultimate pride right there?
Just sharing of knowledge, yeah. Anyway, I hate to do this, man, but I think I'm gonna cut it short. My anxiety's killing me, man. I'm vibrating in my seat. I'm having a hard time with this. I'm in the process of struggling with these goddamn pills the doctors have me on, and it's, I don't know. I'll save that for another time. I'll save that for another time. But hopefully, my Terry's been broken enough that I can come on and do this again with you sometime. I'd really like to do this again sometime when I get some flour to show you how easy the rosin press is, or whatever, or just whatever.
Oh fuck yeah, man! You better, you better. It's funny because I say 161 episodes. I've thrown that out. You don't know how many times, like right around 75 and shit, where I'm like, man, I've given this number out. I don't know how many times, and nobody's fucking jumping in. You know what I mean? It's fucking. We sure don't see an influx of people, jumping in all the time, but it's nice. I hope you do. It seems to be getting a little bit more frequent, people getting on, and That's cool as fuck. But it's that variety is what makes the show. It's for real does. It's variety that makes the show. It's the different person, that the different guests every night. People coming on talking about different things. It isn't just one person talking about well, fucking their method, whatever. It's different every night, and that's
That's
you
what I
know
totally
from
love about the show. That's yeah. I think there's only been a couple of nights where it's been like, well, I'm not really into this, but I still watched it. It was awesome because it was just
well,
another viewpoint.
yeah, I hope you do pop in. The numbers are the same. You know, this is the exit to every other show. The numbers are the fucking same. You know what I mean? If you want to jump in and just smoke a bowl while we're talking or whatever, you know, where you're more than welcome. You've done, you've done the deed like we're talking about, man. Yeah, everybody else is they want to hang out any other night, they've got to put in the work. That's why I kind of made the rule. You know what I mean? As far as the hangout goes, you got to come in and help me. You want to come hang out and fuck around, talk shit in the rabbit hole? You got to help me get another night. You got to help push the show one
I'm here
day
because I
further.
want to help you get more than one night. Damn it! See, guys, I'm not a Kevin Jodry. I'm not a Breeder Steve. I'm not a Chris Mertz or a Twisted Roots or another person that's got a big job going on. I'm just a guy sitting in my room that's really a big fan of the show, that loves the content and the people and the community. And I want to see more nights. I want to see a lot more nights, which means I need to see more of you up here. I want to see Eagle get an influx in his box of people that want to jump on and spend a night with us, because this was the hardest thing I've ever done. I feel like I'm shaking in my boots. Eagle's a TV star to me, but to so this is fucking amazing. I feel great. He can shake his head. I know it's just. I'm not trying to overtalk you, man. I'm sorry. It's just how you feel to me is how you feel to me. You can't take that away from me. So, uh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for holding up this roof for us to chill under every fucking night. Thank you. And if you'll hit that record button, man, I will give you the soundbite.
I will. I will, absolutely will. There you go. You're ready.
This is Rob, aka Chaotic Canago, aka Srelhow, and I'm on fucking talking shit with Eagle Gardens, and so should you.
Fucking A, that's badass. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
man.
And
Thank you, man.
let the anxiety fade. You're more than welcome to, you know the rabbit hole's coming next. The fucking
Oh,
anxiety
I'll be
fades.
watching, man. I'll be watching.
Feel free to jump back in if you want. Now you can, and today, this weekend was blank, man. Fucking, it really was. Last night's guest did cancel, but as far as it was weird. You hit me up and was like, it was funny because there was a few days there. You hit me up and I was like, thank God, there's Sunday. You were like, as soon as you need me, I was like, fucking Sunday. Thank you. I was so stoked about you fucking reaching out. I honestly was. Them days where you guys reach out and say, hey, man, anytime you need me, I was like, whoo. Thank goodness. And then I got a couple other people. It was like bang, bang, bang. Then it was like pieces all fell into puzzle, man. The
Hey,
puzzle all kind of
that offer is still on the table too. I know you say I've got rabbit hole rights, but anytime you need, anytime, man. If I'm out and about, I'll just tell you I can't. But if you need a fill in anywhere, hit me up. I got other things I'd love to talk about. I'm sorry, I'm overly nervous tonight. The anxiety's real. The anxiety's real. But I would
uh,
love to come back, and I'd love to share more things. I'm sure I could gather myself a little better the next time around. That would be pretty awesome.
yeah, yes, please, please, yeah, please. That's what I'm saying. Not only myself, but they're already saying they'd love to see you come back as well. So please do. I'm expecting it at this point. You
All
know what I
right,
mean?
man. All right. All
Cool.
right. Well,
Well, I'm
let's move
sorry.
on. I gotta stand up. I gotta walk around. I gotta breathe. I'm ready to watch your rabbit hole, man. That's. I thank you. I totally appreciate this opportunity, and I totally appreciate the opportunity to be in this grow along with you and all you amazing, wonderful chatters out there. They're going to teach me so much, and I hopefully can teach somebody something or can pay it forward in some way down the road. Thank you all very much. Have a great night. Peace.
Peace. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow. This has been a fucking fun episode. You guys know the deal. This is gonna where we cut it off and start up the rabbit hole. Uh what do I say to that? You know, I do squirm. I don't like that at all. I don't like talking about myself. I don't take compliments well. But I did appreciate hearing Srelhow come on and call you guys out, want you to be on the show because I'd love to talk to each and every one of you. And it's not so often that I get to hear how it affects others on the other side of this. And it really makes me want to double down and be more present in doing this because I do love these people. I love you guys. I am so honored to be able to fucking meet you guys night after night. And even more so to be able to hang out with a great group of people night after night in the fucking rabbit hole is a complete honor. And I can't thank all of you enough. uh, I love you all. I really do. I really do. But with that being said, I don't want to keep drumming on, sound all goofy and shit. But that's the same thing. If you guys don't want to check in for the rabbit hole here in a few minutes, I understand that. But it will be airing here in a few minutes. If this is where you're going to cut off and end your journey for the night or check in on another show, I completely understand that as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please do something nice for somebody. It's so easy to do, as we discuss compliments, open doors, thank yous. Can I help you for that? Every little thing means a lot. I mean, your hair looks nice. It's a nice shirt. It's so easy to do. And random acts of kindness do save lives in so many different ways. And it's just it'll make the world a better place. With that being said, I'm gonna check out, probably use the bathroom, and I'll be right back with 161.5, the rabbit hole. Thank you, and hopefully see you soon. If not, good night. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully 11 o'clock for Brandon Rust. Be an amazing episode. Thank you.